Hello everyone, hello everyone. This is Chimoge here again. Also call me Moge here on Chimoge's comments. This is a long one here. This is an Ogologo video. By that I mean it's not like, because I have videos that are parts of like specific segments. This isn't a specific segment, just something I want to say. Anyway, it's, I guess that's both my internal rhythm and then how I show it externally. Yeah, Ogologo here, long things. Anyway, this is a long thing. Should I start labeling them Ogologo here? Relatives who passed away saying, yeah, good for branding and search results and all that. Anyway, does everything have to be labeled? Does everything have to be labeled? I mean, if you're in a relationship, label the relationship now. But if you're out in the world, you have to label everything. I mean, come on. We can be players outside of the relationship now. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, this video today is about Donald Trump as Karotazu, a form of Ekwensu. Same thing as Ogun. So yeah, I'm just gonna make it while also making the thumbnail for the video. This is kind of a casual one, and it's to preface my Karotazu video that's coming up. Check it out. It'll drop tomorrow morning. It's currently, what is it? Is it 10:09? Is it 10:10? Is it Adorable? Yeah, I put up, like 5 or 6 videos this morning? Or maybe it was 3. No, it's probably 4. Yeah, it's 4 so far. Yeah, I wanted to make this video early in the morning, but I went upstairs. I just fell asleep. Yeah, I just fell asleep. So, I got up a bit too late, and I was like, I can't finish the main Karotazu video this morning. I won't have enough time because it's long. Because there's one, first is a daily prayer for Ogun. Okay, it's 10:11 a.m. And then the Karotazu video is like the last part of that. So that'll go on Chimoge's comments. The overall Ozi Bengunku daily prayer, the first one will go up on Ozi Bengunku. Check that out. That'll be up in the morning as well. It's just taking a while because the explanation for the prayer is taking a while. Part of his Karotazu. But anyway, tend to say Karotazu. But by the way, like all these different pronunciations, they're equally right. There's misconceptions with African language. Because Karotazu is in my language, which most people now call Igbo, should be called Akila language. Anyway, Karotazu, that name's in my language. There's not just one way to pronounce it because people have different rhythms and highs and lows and all that. So some people might say Karotazu. It's fine. That's, I guess, what I say when I'm fading, when I'm tired, sick and low on food, and when the GoFundMe is not filled up. Yeah, I tend to say Karotazu. Anyway, so anyway, what's going to happen here is first, let me get my notes together. Then let me get out there's one set of notes, the 10 traits of Karotazu when he manifests as a leader. Because I'll explain, Donald Trump is an example of Karotazu manifesting as a leader, right? And then I'll be making a thumbnail. So let me make my notes. I guess you'll have to see this angle again. I need something to position, to put up while I'm working. But anyway, so this will go up. So check out my other videos I put up this morning on Inquiry. I put up a live performance recap. Then I put up 2 a moment in the lives on Chimoge's comment, and then also Chimoge's comments, and then 1 video on a celebrity situation, Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel's rumored divorce. That one is 5 minutes, 270 million, Lord. And then, what is it? What is it again? I'm not good at Gmail. I don't remember the password again. this log out of it? Does this log out of it? All right, that did log out of it. I'm sorry. I stopped the video for a second. But anyway, into my email where I have a secondary Karotazu notes. Then I have to take a second on iMovie. Whatever. I don't want to take too long on this. Just details. Anyway, okay. All right, I got the notes. So let's get my notes. Drums. Anyway, okay, it's a simple one. All right. So anyway, let's get started with Donald Trump. I'm gonna speak about it in Kewu, the random way, the hell way. I'll just have 5 main points. If you watch the Karotazu video when it goes up tomorrow, you'll see the proper way of speaking. And okay, the term is proper. It doesn't mean it's always bad to speak randomly, but this is a less effective way of speaking generally because you don't understand as well. It's kind of random. It's more casual. I just want to be relaxed today. So anyway, point 1. So overall, Karotazu is just a form of Ekwensu, the thing that is Ekwensu. In other languages, particularly in the language now known as Yoruba, it's called Ogun. That thing, because again, there are 49 things that are building blocks of existence. Ekwensu is one. Ekwensu, you can translate into Latin as falcon or creepy. Ekwensu is one of the 49 things, and it's the one that it's basically your long, complicated, racing thoughts, and it's the beginning of your thought process, right? So it's messy. But anyway, his 5th form, the one with the most thing in it, his end goal, because these things, they have 5 forms. The 5th one is their goal. The 5th one is Karotazu. You can also translate into English as the salamander, little tooth, and yes, that is the same one depicted in How to Train Your Dragon. Do not show that movie to children. And then gluttony, right? So basically, Karotazu exists almost exclusively in hell, just to wreak havoc. And then when it comes into the world, it does not come into life, ndu. It comes into indi, deadness, the other half of the world, and only a little bit, and you're just supposed to shoot him away. But like other entities that exist, only spirit, it can cause problems to the living. So because of that, you have to pray him away. But then Karotazu in hell can take the form of a being that is like a living being, because spirits can do that, because they have their own societies and things. Well, hell is all in society, which is crazy. But they have their own, I don't know what to call it. Really, they're working groups where they imitate societies, and then different beings manifest as people and worlds and do things. So he'll often manifest there as a leader, and he has a certain character. And when people break down in the world, they can manifest that Karotazu character. And Donald Trump is a very clear example of that. So anyway, Donald Trump, point 1, he's obviously bad. If you don't know he's bad, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably a hell reincarnation. More on that later. Either that or you just have a family that's bad politically. And you don't want to acknowledge it, you haven't seen it, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time proving why Donald Trump is bad. I mean, just look at him. Well, you shouldn't. He'll show you demons, but I mean, it's disgusting. Yeah, Donald Trump is disgusting. I mean, he's just very disgusting. Let's begin the thumbnail. So anyway, the second point is that Donald Trump fulfills all 10 of the criteria of a Karotazu leader. So when you have a leader that manifests as Karotazu, obviously they're not literally the full Karotazu, they're not the thing, but they will have these characteristics, which I'm about to name. And when the Karotazu manifests as this kind of leader in hell, it's for a purpose. But Karotazu's purpose is to be destroyed, because when Karotazu is destroyed, then he spreads Ekwensu, Ekwensu, Otu everywhere. And Ekwensu, those are the creatures that we call house centipedes now. Because Abili is just the creature that we tend to call centipedes, although that's not the name for them. But Abili, that's the manifestation of the thing Abili. Shout out to Abili. It's basically the warrior princess archetype. It's complicated. People don't understand Abili. If you speak my language, people tend to use Abili to mean night, even though that's not what night is. Night should be Oyika. But anyway, expansion of cold. It's just cold at night. That's why, you shouldn't be walking around alone in general. That's bad for our category, but especially at night because it's cold. But crime is not necessarily higher at night. It just, oh Lord, if you don't do things well. But anyway, so then, there are 10 characteristics of Karotazu, because Ekwensu just have a lot of bad ideas by nature. So in hell, because creatures we see in life can manifest in hell as well. In hell, they just spread bad ideas, and they need that, because the purpose of hell is to create enough evil, aurala, to fuel the world, right? So anyway, so when he manifests in hell, it's fine, because he's supposed to. When he manifests in the real world through a person, that's terrible, right? So here are the 10 characteristics of a leader who's a Karotazu. And a Karotazu leader, you have to avoid at all costs and then stop him, okay? That's in the world, that is worst case scenario, because there are types of leaders worse than Karotazu. They literally cannot manifest in the world. Yeah. So anyway, the first 5 traits are much stronger than the last 5, but I'm going to give all 10. So the first one is that he shows you his peak anger too easily. Karotazu shows you his peak anger too easily, as in he does not hold back at all. So Donald Trump, he just shows peak anger way too easily. He's always going on, that one is terrible, whatever he's saying is terrible, right? The second one is he hides when he is nearing and or at the point where he will lose control. Donald Trump does that frequently. One example of that, it was his dispute with Kim Jong-un in, was it 2018? It looked at some point like he was going to make amends with Kim Jong-un for, a peace treaty, or at least, a reduction in hostilities between the United States and North Korea. He was talking about, he gave me a letter, we're in love, blah, blah, blah. And then the next month he exploded. So you don't do that. You don't hide when you are nearing or at the point where you lose control. Everyone has a point after which they lose control in terms of anger. But at that point, you have to let people know and pull out of the situation. If people keep going at you at that period, then that is their fault. But if not, that's your fault. You shouldn't explode, right? So that's point 2. Point 3 is that he is a mass violator, right? He does not respect the right to consent. I'll say that, and that is just a characteristic of Ekwensu in general in hell, because Ekwensu deletes in weird ways. He's onye mekariachu. That is his goal, and it's very unpleasant, which is why you're not supposed to look at hell too much. Disgusting. Just like Ele, the actual worst person in hell, he just deletes life wantonly. Literally, it has to exist. There are limits on it. First of all, just because I know there's some idiots who think, he said it should exist in hell, it should exist in the world. No, these things I'm talking about, they should not exist in the world. someone like Donald Trump should not exist in this world. Anyone who's for what he's for should not exist in this world. So, because by the way, hell is outside the world, okay? But you know, you shouldn't spend too much time looking at hell or imitating it. You'll mess up the world. That's what we have now. A lot of our practice is imitating stuff that goes on in hell. Okay. So anyway, that is Ekwensu's end goal in all of his forms. And Karotazu, that is his end goal, but he doesn't really always see his own goal. In fact, he usually doesn't. And he usually does not reach it, but he will wreak havoc before he does. And he will delete in a straightforward way before getting to his goal of deleting in a complicated way, okay? That is Karotazu. I don't like Ekwensu. The animal we call the falcon, that is the most exact and complete manifestation of Ekwensu in this world. Yeah, they're pretty lame. Particularly the ones they call the peregrine falcon, that's it. They overhype that animal. Oh, it's the fastest animal in the world. It can dive bomb at like 200 miles an hour. That is just momentum now. If you go all the way up, you will fall down fast. They just overhype that animal. I mean, I don't like Ekwensu. But most people don't like Ekwensu. I should be normal. Okay, I hate Ekwensu more than most people, but I should be more normal than I am in this world now. Or I said that right. English, I don't even. Okay, yeah, there's a problem with English anyway. As in the language is evil, not me. So yeah, anyway, the whole point is that when Karotazu manifests as a leader, he will be a mass violator, a mass onyemeker at you. And we see that with Trump, all the accusations against him, and it's pretty clear that's what he does. And again, the more you look at a Karotazu, the more you're like, how is this allowed to exist in society? And that's what Trump is. How is he allowed to exist in society? How is he allowed to get in? How is he allowed to get into society? Anyway, the fourth is that he gets into situations that grow his evil unnecessarily. Trump gets into situations that grow his evil unnecessarily. I think a big example of this is becoming the Republican nominee, right? If you're the nominee of the Republican Party, you're required to do evil. So if you're already very evil, why would you become the nominee? Because it's hard for you to back out of there without doing some evil. It's hard for you to be the nominee and then the president without doing evil as a Republican. So, because of the mandates of the party. So, and again, you know me, I don't like either party. I'm just saying Republican Party is pretty, pretty head on there. Again, I'm not saying Democrats are better. I'm just talking about Republicans specifically. It's just straight up. You're a Republican. You're gonna do evil. Yeah. Okay, then the fifth trait, this is to, sign out the top five, is that Karotazu hates children. And we saw that through Trump when he put into place his family separation policy, when he was at the border separating children from their parents, and a lot of them were disappeared. Despicable character. Okay, let's keep going. Lord have mercy. I have to look at Donald Trump. Lord have mercy. Even then, that's I'm just keeping you like that. Just keep you there with your flag you love so much, Trump. So those are the top five characteristics of Karotazu. Number 6, which is the Ebere. Ebera, the number of Ebera, the thing we call Oshun, also named Oshun, is 6. And the fruit we call orange is called Nebere. Grace, Ebera, same thing, 6. Anyway. So we passed the goal. Anyway, the 6 is that 6 characteristic of a Karotazu leader is that he perishes young. He perishes young. He will perish before his allotted time is at dawn. Now, this one's harder to see with Trump just because of our current society. But one thing you have to keep in mind is that all people today who perish have passed away young just because we're supposed to live a lot longer. We are. Look into aging science. I've talked about this before. The average leader person, 1/4 of the population, is supposed to live for 275,000 years. The average common person, Onyala, is supposed to live for 215 years. Aging scientists have dozens of theories about why we age. None of them add up. And then top aging scientists believe we can live for like 1,000 years. I would say longer. Keep this in mind. In our current society, we're doing a billion things wrong. For example, if you look in the West, so many people spend a lot of time indoors. If we start doing those billion things right, how much longer can we live? There's no reason to assume this is the max lifespan, especially because, generally speaking, we do not have good data about life expectancy before about 1900. We just don't. And even, outside the West, life expectancy data is not great. You can kind of surmise that most people are living less long in the West, but that's on average. I mean, for all you know, there's someone in the village somewhere who's 150. Yeah. So anyway, there's that. But then also, if you look at Trump's health, and again, I don't wish ill upon him. I do not wish ill upon him. I absolutely do not wish ill upon him. I hope that his actions fail, his acts of evil fail. I do not wish ill upon him as a person. I want to make that clear. May he get on the right track, but he's not in the best of health. He's been reported overweight, and, it seemed that he barely passed a dementia test towards the end of his time in office, his first term. So, that's not symptomatic of someone who's in great health. He's about 77. Average life expectancy for a rich white man, I believe, is at least in the 80s. Let's look it up. Yeah. Upper income men in the United States expect to live to 89 years old. And they didn't even control for race. So for the white men, it's probably in the 90s. That's according to the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. So, again, I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want to wish ill upon him. But based upon the way he doesn't take care of himself, apparently frequently eats fast food, it seems he's on track to fulfill this Karotazu trait, even relative to the standards of this time. So, there's that. The seventh trait of Karotazu is that he wants to commit, acts of self-harm that will lead to premature demise. And again, this one's hard to see with Trump, but when you look at how he was moving when he was in office, the amount of unnecessary conflicts he got into, that could be characteristic of someone who does not have regard for their life. You see, so Karotazu does not have regard for his life. For example, he got into a dispute, I remember, with the leader of Iran when he was in office that ended in an unnecessary loss of life. You see, that kind of behavior is not characteristic of someone that has regard for their life. And generally, people who delete life do not have regard for their own lives unnecessarily. So that's Donald Trump there. There's that. I don't like talking about Trump. How to train a dragon, female dragon. Let's get a picture. Okay. Lord have mercy. All right. Okay. Well, okay. Thumbnail's mostly done. I just need to transfer it onto the phone after this, and make some other edits. But anyway, okay, let's speed through this. So the eighth characteristic of a Karotazu leader is that he over outsources. He or she. So Donald Trump over outsources. You could see that when he was in office. He was not hands-on. He was apparently golfing all the time. He was just letting other people do all the work. He had his son-in-law Jared running around doing things, even though he didn't have a formal cabinet position. That's over outsourcing Karotazu. The ninth characteristic of Karotazu is you hesitate to explode him. And this just means he's so dangerous that you don't know what will happen if you go near him to take him down. And that's a lot of what's happened with Donald Trump. You can see even in the media, there's a hesitancy to take him seriously. I would argue even now, they should pounce on him more. They don't know how to cover him correctly. And a lot of that is the hesitancy to explode him because he is dangerous. Best example of this is the way they gave him free press when he was coming up during his first run. I mean, they would just play him for hours on end. And it's like, just take him down. Don't just show him all over the place. My God. Okay, and then the 10th characteristic of a Karotazu leader is that he always talks about his dangerous connections. Now, if you haven't noticed so far, Donald Trump is not the only Karotazu leader. There are a bunch, and the reason for that is when societies break down, a lot of Karotazu leaders will show themselves, but Trump is the most extreme one yet. I say that because the 10th one could be harder to see just because it's been normalized, but he does it. I'll use the example of how he talks about his connections to the Republican Party. Republicans are a dangerous bunch. He always talks about his connections to them, and he's always bigging up his connections to peripheral, so-called conservative figures who are dangerous. So that counts for sure. We should look at those things more. So anyway, those are the 10 characteristics of a Karotazu leader. And Trump fulfills them like crazy. But anyway, you have that. So, you have that. Anyway, so that's point 2. He fulfills them. Point 3 is that, Trump is a hell reincarnation. I've been authorized by my relatives who passed away to tell people because, I have the ability to sense people's past lives. I'm getting better, but I can sense that. And I can sense whether or not someone's a hell reincarnation. Trump is a hell reincarnation. And that means that in his past life, he violated one of the real 10 commandments, the laws of the land, and did not repent before he reincarnated. And in his past life, because he's been a hell reincarnation for a while, in his past life, he was actually a very dangerous world leader as well. About 10,000 years ago, there's an event known as the 10th War to remove the leaders, Agawep Asato. And he was one of the top 2 leaders, and he deleted a lot of life and went to Seberua. And like, for example, like the 10 commandments, I won't go over them all here because I want to be quick, but basically they center around first. The first set is basically not deleting life unnecessarily. The worst one you could do is delete life in your own category. And that is the one he violated the most, deleting other gods, like people we tend to call human beings. Although in that life, he was deleting human beings more. He tended to delete black people. We've seen that. He's against black life. So those are the first ones. Then there's other ones like, don't delete other creatures in our category power. Like, for example, the creatures we call chimpanzee should be called njoku. Don't unnecessarily delete the animals we call pythons, things like that. Then after that, it has to do with crimes and, I guess romantic relationships, things of that nature. But anyway, he's violated them and he's a hell reincarnation. Another thing, I'll go more into Trump as a hell reincarnation in, future videos, but one thing to know also is he should be a Kalakana, which is kind of why conservatives get fooled by him, because most of himself is supposed to be Kalakana. But there's a thing you can do as a hell reincarnation where you can take off the top of yourself and replace it with poop from hell. Literally, most of his self is poop from hell. It was very weird. I encourage other people to verify this, but I'm pretty sure of this. You can see in his behavior. One characteristic of a hell reincarnation I would give is that they have something called Ishiewu, hellhead, where they believe contradictory things at once, like in an extreme sense, and Trump really has that. So yeah. So anyways, not good. So the fourth point I want to make is that we have to stop Donald Trump. Very basic. We have to stop him. We must stop his political agenda. And again, I have to emphasize, stopping Trump does not mean just supporting his opposition. I'm not saying that, I'm just not going to, me, I made the video, Say No to Joe 2020. Check it out on Shimuge's Comments America. I'm not going to say the Democrats have the answers to stopping Trump or that they're even as different as they should be. You know me, I don't think Democrats are overall better than Republicans. They're just different. But we must stop his political agenda, stop him from wreaking havoc. You know my policy on elections now, just don't vote. There's not a good option there, but whatever the outcome is, we have to stop Trump's political agenda. And I would love to stop seeing him everywhere. But anyway, and then the fifth thing is, and when I say stop him, we must stop him like physically in life, and by that, obviously don't, do harm to him physically, but do things in the world, like say with political action, to stop his agenda. Like, for example, if he gets elected, he'll have his anti-immigration agenda, take political moves to stop his anti-immigration agenda, things of that nature. And the fifth thing is to pray against Donald Trump. We must pray because you act in life, and then to give that action support, you pray, right? Because prayer is an act of self-defense. We must defend ourselves against Trump and the world. We must defend ourselves and the world against Trump, I should say. Anyway, let me do a short prayer against Trump and Karotazu in general, then I'll get this video up. Kabrunem, kabrunanem, nogo haka, satindi nuaka, indi nanananamobunaka, boa, biko, kanyi miko, izobo. Onyarala hane po Donald Trump, agame poya Donald and Kala. Chai, Donald and Kala, lo tuige rarala. Chai, hafoya nala ruoya. Obu tu Karotazu, biko kongunuzuku, kori ngunuzuku, ki opuna chorme ngunuzuku, ke kwenshi opuna oneme ngunuzuku, kolaro biko, kolaro sala, monwegi gecha, ka. Sorry, my prayer got interrupted by a call. Okay, let's go again. Kabrunam nogo ha, kasa tindi nuaka, indi nananamobuna ka, inunemi, hanami, bigger, kaini miko, jidenri, kaini meje, permit kaini pinyo, onya hanepo Donald Trump, bejra bu Donald and Kala, biko, Elihen Kala, nini bu Donald, Elihen araloku, asusele, elasusu, biko, kaini pinyo, Elihen Kala, biko kori ngunuzuku, Karotazu, agoya ngunuzuku, Karotazu on a fonua ngunuzuku, ka orange obuna on a rularo punk when boaka, nako Karotazu obuna ozo, shorara nundu, akila, abru, come abo, nako komozo, kachuku natsmatu pay a punk when. Abru karadabra osatibra nakwa biko ka abru obuna tadabra Elihen kala akila osebru hadu kochu akila. See you guys. Like, subscribe, donate, all that. Donate to my GoFundMe as well. Thank you.